Performance update, guys. I can't believe it, but apparently some people want to actually come to see me perform my first solo performance. I didn't expect this, okay? Because obviously, like, don't get me wrong, the person who's producing, my producer, right? If you guys don't know, right? This week, I'm going to do my first ever solo singing performance, and I am terrified. I've been so terrified I haven't been able to record because I'm like, if you don't make videos, then the people will forget you exist, right? And you can just disappear. But that's not an option anymore. It's a bit too deep and too far. And like now I'm at the point, you know, guys, I always say that I impulsively say yes to doing things and then I realize the consequences after the fact. But that I always say that it has to be that way because if I wasn't impulsive like that, then I would never do it because my brain would think long enough to remember that the cons outweigh the pros. So then by me saying yes impulsively and doing things impulsively, I do things that I wouldn't do. And it's actually a hack, even though it frustrates me when I'm here now and I'm days away. And I'm just thinking to myself, you know what? It was only yesterday that I was going through the songs, which by the way, I'm doing a 30-minute set. I just like to tell everybody I'm doing 30 minutes, 30 whole minute set, okay? Because what is he thinking and what's going through his brain anyways? So it takes a lot of time to like, you know. Anyway, so I'm now thinking to myself, right, yesterday I was like, okay, you know what? I've done some practice. If we keep like this, whatever, I'm going to try my best. Like I'm already trying my best. And then the plot keeps thickening more. And I'm being told, oh, by the way, so-and-so's coming. They wanted to come and see what you were doing. I'm getting told, what should I wear? What are we wearing? What's the vibe? Excuse me, like, guys, there was only 2 people mainly on my list of guests, my official guest list in my mind, and that was my brothers. And I and that's because, you know, they're my brothers. But yeah, so now I'm like, the pressure was already high. And like, this is again one of those, had I known it was going to turn out like this when I agreed to, I would have never agreed to do this, but I just did the thing. And it's so funny because God just gets me in those moments when I'm like in the mood to do something. And he's like, hey, why don't we do this? It's the same thing with this whole Italy thing, which I'm also terrified about. Right? Because expectation, something I'm afraid about, and like I've not been in the game for a long time, nor do I even necessarily want to really do this. Like I'm kind of just doing it because I got asked to do it. And I just know how these things go and how people make assumptions. And then like, it's like, and that's the thing, because I feel like me and the Lord, when it comes to like the music stuff, right? It's just something that's private between the two of us. You know what I mean? We do it just private in our privacy. We enjoy the beauty of creativity in all aspects, right? Whether that be creation, whatever, right? And I love to sing to the Lord, right? In private, because I don't want to be doing none of this. Like, I don't like, listen, being a PK will ruin you because everyone just pays attention to you. You can't even praise the Lord in peace. So, yeah. You know what I mean? So now I feel like, why am I involving the people again? You know, like, why do we really need to do this? But, you know, but then I really want to support him there because he's been one of those people that, like, is one of the angels of this world. Like, one of the people that actually makes me, like, not completely think that we're completely doomed because he's just so talented, so humble for how talented he is. I've met people who have got, like, 2% of the amount of talent he has, whose egos are greater than the size of this entire planet, right? And he's just the most humble person ever, but so incredibly talented and does so much for free. He volunteers so much of his skills for free to like everybody in so many ways in the community. He's in like he's like 3 different kinds of bands. He's like making music for everyone and he's so good at what he does. So the fact of that is really why I'm doing it, because I'm like, if he really thinks that he wants me at his event for real and he trusts me to that extent, then I have to show up for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a team thing and you need people to rely on in moments. And this is a huge deal for him. It's a huge event. It's his 10-year anniversary from his first EP. It's a huge deal for him. So, you know, that's why I really wanted to be there, because it's like, you know, I was going to go just to visit, because when we first started talking about it in January, and we were recording one of the songs I'm going to be doing, crazily enough, I can't believe that. He was telling me about this event coming up in May, and I was like, no way, like, you have to let me know the dates. I have to be there, I have to support, because he supports some of my events, like came to perform at my events in London when I wasn't even a performer. I wasn't even dancing or singing or acting. I was always in some kind of choreography director kind of role, which I like. I like to be able to stand backstage and be watching them on stage, or be sitting at the front row, knowing that I'm seeing people doing what I created. I way prefer that than me being the one doing it. And with dance, I stand behind. I think other people look better doing my choreography. I'll say that I stand behind that. right? And so yeah, it's just, so he used to come to my events and like perform. I'd invite him because again, it's the team mentality, you guys. That's how I've always been. It's so nice to be in that kind of situation, like where when I'm up and I'm doing something, if I have an event, I'm calling all the people I know. Like if I know you have catering business, I'm booking you. If I know you're a performer, I'm booking you. If I know you have a business where you sell this, I'm going to ask if you want to come and have a stall at my event. You can sell your products. You can bring products there for people. You can do consultations. I'm bringing everybody in. Like if I have an excuse to bring people together and I can help the people around me who are doing something, that's what I've always done. I'll always use whatever I have. And I guess in this regard, it happens to be that I have songs he's actually produced for me. And I do think the songs are good, even if I feel like my singing is so far lacking. That's the problem, right? But this music itself is good. So I'm like, you know what? For the sake of the advert for his services, you know, I'm going to do it regardless. Also for the sake of winning and for the sake of like conquering things. Because I feel like, you know, it's been a very long time since I've had to do something I was truly intimidated by and also like had never done before, because I'm always somebody that does something when I feel about 90% sure that I'm going to win, and not just in my head, like I've worked to get to 90% sure that I'm going to win. Do you know what I'm saying? I've put the work in for time. This time it's like I haven't really put the work in because I didn't even know this was coming. So why the hell on earth would I just walk into a situation like this as an amateur? Like who the hell does that? Who in their right mind does that? Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So I'm actually starting to freak out now. Okay. I was fine yesterday until today when I started to figure out more about the fact that people are going to come to the event. And I know it all sounds like such a small thing, but it's not, guys. In life, every little thing you do carries so much weight. I'm laughing at the irony of me saying that based on the songs that I'm doing, right? Everything we do, it carries so much weight, right, in life, every choice we make and like the things that we choose to do. And for me, the biggest thing of all is the songs themselves, because it's just like, yeah, I'm not even gonna, I've decided, I was like, maybe I should do a practice round with somebody that I know, and I've just decided I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it because I already know, like, it's not really what people are going to be expecting at all. Oh, like, why do we do this? Why must we? And so this is definitely one of those like trust in the Lord situations. And I'm not joking. I mean, like, I'm literally putting my trust in God because I have no faith in myself for this. I have no faith in myself for this whatsoever. So if it's the Lord's will, he's going to have to back me up. And he has done that in the past when it's his will. So yeah, I can't believe it, guys. I'm freaking out. Like, and oh my gosh, I don't know. And it's the fact that the people that are coming as well, they've found out about, I'm just like, oh my gosh, because it's one of those things I'm not going to be able to. I was thinking, because nobody knows it and I'm in the UK, most of the people that I talk to outside of the UK, like my friends and whatever, I was thinking, oh, this is fine, we can just do this and then we can just like sweep it under the carpet, like even if I don't even talk about it, like worst case scenario, I'm thinking it goes down, I do, the whole thing goes badly, I delete all the videos of me talking about it and pretend like it never happened. And for all we know, it never happened, right? A few of you will remember and hear that I didn't speak about it, and you'll never know, and maybe I'll talk about it in the future. That time I bombed my first solo performance or something, right? This is what I'm saying. I'm too busy thinking about like, God was saying this to me the other night. It was like, all you think about is the negatives. And I was like, yeah, that's so real. Because it's true. Because I don't know. Because I feel like I thought about the positive. I feel like as a kid, I was like too ignorant, always thinking about the positives. So now I feel like I've overcorrected. You know what I mean? Now I only think of the negatives, and I really only think of the negatives. I haven't thought of one positive to come out of this experience. Like, it's genuinely, I haven't thought of one actually positive thing that could happen as a result of this. So it's just, you see, we're all healing and we're all growing and we're all, putting it out on the line. And already me putting out my thoughts on the line on the internet with my mouth. I hate using my voice. I've never said this before. I hate having to use my voice for things. I hate having to say things. I hate having to, anything that requires sound coming out from my mouth is my least preferred method of communication. Talking, singing, all of that's my least favorite form of communication, because I feel like it just never does justice for what's in here. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I love the creatives and I love being creative. You know what I'm saying? But they're not necessarily singing, because you still have to find some words, and it's just, it's it's too much, you know what I'm saying? And I take these things too seriously because, like I say, like, I don't know, guys, everything we do, it says something about you. Everything you do, you're making a choice, you're aligning with something, like you're aligning yourself with whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like the people you hang around with, people see you with that person, you're associated with them now. That might change your trajectory. This happened to me once upon a time with a friend of mine who's no longer my friend and should have never been my friend, with a situation in London where I was at this event. It was like it was one of these like big, huge fitness events that like all the influencers go to. And this is before today's version of influencing, like back when it was still newer and there was like fewer people, but then they were all really well known. So one of my friends was doing fitness, right? And she was a fitness YouTuber. So one of the brands that were there sponsored her, one of the girls on my dance team. One of the people there, she's also my friend, she was on my dance team, but anyway, so one of the companies that she was with sponsored her to come to the event and gave her 2 extra tickets. So she invited me and this other girl. All 3 of us were on my dance teams, and all 3 of us were also just like kind of friends in real life, but me and her were like especially close friends, right? Especially because me and her were both believers, yada yada yada. Anyways, so we go now to this other situation where there's this girl and she's really popular for doing this, like she has this whole brand where she basically teaches girls how to dance, like in a certain type of niche, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want to mention who the person is, right? Anyways, but she does it in a certain type of niche. So anyway, we go there. We're not even supposed to be there because we hadn't bought the tickets, which we didn't know we needed tickets. We walk straight to the front in this whole fitness event, right? This is just what I'm saying is insane. The 3 of us, right? It's right in the front of this event and we just learned the choreography. And then she comes down to us off the stage afterwards where she's like meeting everyone. She's like, oh my gosh, you guys, because like, she's like, oh my gosh, I can tell you guys are dancers. We're having all this conversation, this, that, and the other, right? And then the vibe ended up a bit weird and I didn't understand why, because then everything we all posted on Instagram was tagging people, this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, I'm like, why is this situation not going forward how it was, like, and whatever? Turns out, and this all connects back to the story of what actually happened, right? Of what I'm just saying. The girl that's not the one I was close to, so she was like the least close of the 3 of us, but she was there as well. She was the other girl that got invited. She had an issue with one of the girls that was on stage. I don't know if it was one of the girls that was like doing backup for the main girl, or if it was one of the girls who does backup, but that wasn't actually there, because she has a whole bunch of her friends who all do backup in her classes, in the classes that she teaches, right? And it was a huge thing. It was like she was collaborating with Adidas. Like, so when I say we jumped the queue, we even met her mum. It was this whole funny thing. We didn't know. We just walked in, and I guess, I don't know. And then after the fact, people were like, oh, I wanted to go to that class, but it was fully booked. And I was like, that's when we realized afterwards, after the fact, we were like, oh, we didn't know. We didn't know. We just walked in there. And then because we got there early and the room was empty, so we just walked in because we didn't know what it was. And then we just figured out that that's what was happening. We had no idea what was going on in there. But it was just one of these big like rooms, because she was one of the because they had all of their stalls, and then they had like, those were like specific VIP events. Like, so you pay like the higher level tickets. But we just walked in there. We ended up talking to her mum. And then somehow the class just starts. We just start walking. We just like walk to the front and it was just like that. But anyways, so random. Like... And then, so this girl, basically, who I would say more acquaintances with, not really friends, I was friends with the other girl. She has some kind of situation going on between her and one of these backup girls, because to do with, I think, her current boyfriend at the time. And I was just like, and so then there was a little bit of cattiness going on. And it was one of those situations where I was like, this is such a lost collaborative opportunity, just because I was with somebody that I'm not even like friends with like that, right? Because our friendship didn't last. You know, there was a lot of things that happened with her, and she was just that kind of person, because I then found out what really went down between the girl and the other girl. How am I, you ask? Because I'm a woman and I investigated myself, right? Anyways, I found out what happened. And then when I found out what actually did happen, actually the girl who I knew, in my opinion, was more so in the wrong than the other girl. Right? So then I was like, so this was a whole missed opportunity. So this is why I say, like, when I say that every little detail in life, like, there's so many details like that I can tell you about when I was, especially working like as a business owner, or like when I was working as an event planner, etc., etc. Like, I remember one time this woman, it was a black lady who actually said it to me, and I was so grateful for this piece of advice. I was doing an event, right? And it was really hard to get this venue. It's one of these town halls, one of these big, grand, beautiful, like castle-like looking town halls in London. And the company I was working for wanted to do their event in there. Now, obviously, the favor of the Lord beeth with me. Turns out that the family running the place, one of the girls there was a pastor's kid. So me and her just hit it off. And when I tell you, I managed to get them the prices hella extra cheap for the company that I was working for, because I did, because I was getting on with the girl who was there. It pays to be a believer, by the way. But anyway, it really does pay to be a believer. Like, so because they were believers, and the company I was working for, they weren't believers, but I was hardcore. And they always used to say to me, "Oh, you're such a good person. You're such a..." And I'm like, maybe good to you, but I'm not good to everyone. Like, no one's a good person. But anyway, so I wanted to do the event there. Now, I am highly organized when it comes to making events. That's why I'm a really good event planner, because my thing is, once my event is happening, it's just like how I am with throwing a party, hosting. Listen, once the time starts, you won't catch me having to be like rushing around, panicking about what's going on. Everything's just going to run smoothly because I plan things so that they run smoothly. And so a lot of times working as an event planner, I realize people, they don't follow your plan that you gave them, and then they wonder why things go wrong. And that's exactly what happened, because this lady arrived and then they hadn't set up. They said on entry, you're going to get a free glass of, you're going to get a free champagne, blah, 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 all this stuff, different stuff that they wanted to do. And I was telling them that they need to like cut back the amount of things they're going to do. If not, they need to follow the whatever. Anyways, long and short of it is they ended up starting a little bit late. It didn't look good for them, didn't look good for the company. I was frustrated because it wasn't because of me, because I gave every single person that had a role a personalized plan for the day, like where they had to be at every single time personally. I used to sit doing this for hours. So like every person, whatever area you're in, I would have your whole day timesheets done, and then I would put them all on clipboards and I'd put a pen inside, so you can, throughout the day, you can make your little scribbles. I got lanyards for everybody. Like, I go crazy with this stuff. I do go crazy with this stuff. So then I've organized everything. Everything was organized, right, for this event, and I've got them to do it at the town hall, and then they messed up. And then the lady said to me, this black lady, she was like, "You know something, I work as an event planner as well. And just so you know, even if whatever's happening here isn't because of you," like, because she basically could tell that it wasn't because of me, "it's going to reflect on your reputation." And like, this is what I'm saying. Like, everything we do, she's like, "it's going to reflect on your reputation, because now this is the event that came to." And I, as a black woman, she said, she said as a black woman, she said, "and I really wanted to come and see what was happening here, because I was really encouraged to see this type of event happening, and I'm disappointed. I even brought my friend. Think about what that's like and how that looks to your personal, your personal, what's that word? Why can't I find the word? You see, this is why I don't like to talk, because I can never remember simple words. Reputation." And she just came to me. And that was one of those where I was like, thank you. This is what I wish the older generation would do more, as opposed to just talking down and just telling us how we're the devil. Like, actually give us like helpful advice. Because that I never forgot to this day. And this is why even now with all this thing that I'm doing now, I'm thinking all of my actions have consequences. Like everything that I do, wherever I am, wherever I associate myself, and whatever I'm doing when I'm being associated there, every single part of all of these things all comes together, like to know that I'm making this choice and I will be the one to pay the consequences of my actions. I will be the one to pay the consequences of my actions, who I choose to be around, what I choose to do. And that's why I don't want to have to do anything, because I am terrified, because now I've gone and done the thing that puts myself out there the most, apparently, and I'm just doing it for God knows what reason. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm thinking of even more examples of these times when just these lessons that I learned throughout the life. This is why I feel comfortable calling my channel The Winning Team, because I really I've learned, when I tell you guys in this channel, it's the same thing I say to the ladies at the Bible study. Listen, I've learned everything the hard way. I've learned everything the hard way. This is why I can't for a moment or a second try to sit on some high horse of self-righteousness, because, mate, if you think you've made mistakes, guarantee you I've made more. If you think you're giving God a headache, I guarantee you God is getting a migraine with me. Like, trust me. If you think that, you need the Lord to send you 100 angels, trust me, the Lord better send me like 100,000 million. Because that's how it be. Like, I've learned a lot of things the hard way. But yeah, I just thought I would share that with you all, because I'm really, I don't know. I hate doing this emotional stuff, and I hate doing these feelings things, which is, again, why I don't want to sing. I want to, like, one thing I've said to myself is I really want to be I'm trying to become the type of person that is that kind of person. You know what I mean? I'm trying to share, I'm trying to be authentic and have an honest journey. And I feel like, if there's anything I can do to benefit you guys, you can at least, even if it's a train wreck, you can learn from the train wreck in real time at least. You know what I mean? As she did that and it didn't work out, so now I know not to do that. That's still beneficial in the long haul. You know what I'm saying? On behalf of everybody. So that's why I just share openly and honestly. And also because it's not about me at the end of the day. It's about the Lord and about the fact that I love you guys so dearly. And so if I'm going to say anything on here, and if I'm going to do whatever, I have to practice what I preach. Is ultimately the other reason why I have to do this. I can't keep talking about cowardice is comfortability and cowardice, and all this stuff. And how we all need healing and deliverance. And what we need to do is for humanity to come back to God, and for men and women to come back together. I can't be saying all that stuff and not practicing what I preach. And this is the thing that I hate about it the most. Because I'm like, oh, I have to do it now. Like I have to, because I have to be authentic, because I'm allergic to being fake. I'm so allergic. I'm like deathly allergic. Like that's why when it's in the air, I feel drained. So I can't be around people, because I'm allergic. I'm actually allergic to fakeness. Like I'm allergic to lying and liars. I'm allergic to just anything that's not real. So I'm allergic to the counterfeits of it all. So it's just, anyway, guys, I just thought I would share. I'm putting my heart out there, because even me saying this in this video, it doesn't compare to the amount I feel like doing that is going to be like this week. It's like, anyway, like, yeah. So guys, this is insane. I don't even know what the Lord's will is, honestly, for the situation. I don't know if he's going to just let me bomb and be like, okay, now you're taking this seriously enough. Now you need to go and start training, because this is what happens when you don't prepare. Or if he's going to be like, I got you, and it's going to go amazing. Who knows? We'll all stay tuned, won't we? We'll all stay tuned. I'll be coming out with a lesson or a blessing. If life's a game, let's play to win. It's not even funny, but that's just my coping mechanism, right? If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Anywho, if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.